Ladies and gentlemen, it's a tough truth to face, but some people in our lives genuinely enjoy causing pain and chaos. Think about it. You could be sharing moments and trusting someone only to realize they're the very source of your struggles. Recognizing the signs you're dealing with a toxic individual, whether it's a coworker, a friend, or even a family member, these people can be experts at hiding their true nature behind a mask of charm and charisma. This isn't just about curiosity. Understanding these signs can be life-changing. By identifying these harmful traits, we can protect our peace and build healthier relationships, staying true to principles of integrity and self-awareness. When we talk about people who seem charming and charismatic at first glance, it's important to remember that appearances can be incredibly deceptive. These individuals often have a way of lighting up a room, making everyone around them feel special and valued. They know exactly what to say to make you feel like you've just met someone extraordinary. At first, they seem like the perfect person, witty, engaging, and genuinely interested in your life. It's easy to get swept up in their charm, thinking you found someone truly special. Over time, you might start to notice cracks in their facade. Maybe they always need to be the center of attention, overshadowing others in social settings. They might interrupt you, talk over you, or even subtly put you down in front of others. These aren't just quirks or signs of an extroverted personality. They're red flags. The wise would encourage us to observe these behaviors with a clear mind, unclouded by the initial excitement of their charisma. Imagine being at a gathering where this person is the life of the party, telling jokes and captivating the crowd. At first, it feels great to be in their orbit, but as the evening progresses, you realize they're dominating every conversation, making everything about themselves. When you try to share something about your life, they quickly redirect the topic back to them. It's also crucial to pay attention to how they react when things don't go their way. A genuinely kind person will handle disappointments with grace and understanding, but someone who's merely playing a role might quickly become angry or defensive. They might lash out or try to manipulate the situation to regain control. Throughout history, wise leaders have warned us to be wary of those who display signs of anger and manipulation, as these are not traits of someone with good character. The key here is to take your time and trust your instincts. If someone seems too good to be true, give yourself the space to observe their actions over time. Notice how they treat others, especially when they think no one is watching. True character is revealed in how a person behaves when they aren't trying to impress anyone. Remember, not everyone who seems charming and charismatic has good intentions. Some people use their charm as a tool for manipulation. By staying grounded and mindful, you can protect yourself from being taken in by a superficial facade. Stay true to principles of wisdom and discernment, and you'll be better equipped to navigate these complex social dynamics. Another critical sign to watch for is a lack of empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It's what allows us to connect deeply, offer support, and build meaningful relationships. However, there are individuals who seem to completely lack this essential human trait. They don't care about how their actions or words affect others, and this can have a devastating impact on those around them. When we encounter someone who shows a blatant disregard for the feelings of others, it's a serious red flag. Imagine sharing something deeply personal with a friend, hoping for comfort or understanding. Instead of showing genuine concern, they brush off your feelings or even mock your vulnerability. This lack of empathy can leave you feeling isolated and misunderstood. It's not just about them not being there for you in tough times, it's also about them failing to share in your joy or celebrate your successes. A person who lacks empathy won't cheer for your achievements. They might even undermine them or take credit themselves. This behavior isn't limited to personal relationships. Consider a boss who pushes their employees to the brink, showing no concern for their well-being. They might demand long hours without fair compensation, ignore requests for time off, or publicly criticize employees in a way that's meant to humiliate rather than guide. This creates a toxic work environment where people feel undervalued and stressed. A lack of empathy can lead to more sinister behaviors. People who cannot empathize with others may engage in actions that are outright cruel, showing no sense of guilt or remorse. They might lie, cheat, or even inflict harm without a second thought about the pain they're causing. A lack of empathy is also evident in smaller, everyday interactions. For example, you might notice someone constantly interrupting conversations to talk about themselves, showing little interest in what others have to say, or failing to offer help when it's clearly needed. These might seem like minor annoyances at first, but they add up to a pattern of behavior that reveals a deeper issue. If you find yourself dealing with someone who consistently lacks empathy, it's important to set boundaries to protect your own mental and emotional health. You have the right to distance yourself from those who drain your energy and bring you down. Another major sign of a toxic person is manipulation. Manipulation occurs when someone uses deceit or cunning tactics to control or influence others for their own benefit. It's a subtle, often insidious behavior that can be incredibly damaging to those on the receiving end. Manipulators are skilled at deception, preying on those who fail to recognize their tactics. Stay vigilant, stay strong, and always protect your inner peace. Manipulation is a powerful tool used by those who seek to twist situations, making you question your reality and bending your will to suit their needs. This can leave you feeling confused, powerless, and unsure of your own judgments. When someone manipulates you, they attempt to cloud your perception and distort reality, making it difficult for you to hold on to these foundational truths. A common form of manipulation is gaslighting, where the manipulator makes you doubt your own memory, perception, or sanity. They may deny events ever happened or twist your words and actions to make you feel at fault. For instance, if you confront a friend about something hurtful they said, instead of acknowledging it, they may turn the tables, accusing you of being overly sensitive or misremembering the situation. This erodes your confidence, making you reliant on the manipulator's version of reality. Manipulators are also skilled at playing the victim, guilt-tripping you into doing things against your will by making you feel responsible for their happiness or well-being. A friend who constantly complains about their problems may expect you to drop everything to help them, yet never be there for you in return. They might say, "If you were really my friend, you'd do this for me," making you feel obligated to comply. Our true source of strength and guidance comes from God, not from the shifting opinions or expectations of others. When manipulators use flattery or charm to get their way, it can feel good initially. They may shower you with compliments and make you feel special, but over time, their praise comes with strings attached. Their approval becomes conditional, granted only when you meet their expectations or fulfill their desires. True worth and virtue, according to Graham's teachings, come from a relationship with God, not from the fleeting approval of others. Manipulation can also take the form of isolation, where a manipulative person seeks to cut you off from your support network, making you more dependent on them. They might say things like, "Your friends don't really care about you," or "Your family doesn't understand you like I do." This tactic makes it easier for them to control you by ensuring that they are your only source of validation. Isolation weakens our spiritual and emotional foundation, making us more vulnerable to deception. Financial manipulation is another tactic used by those who seek control. They may borrow money and never repay it, or manage all financial decisions, limiting your independence. For example, a partner might insist on controlling the household finances, making you ask for permission to spend money. Graham's message of personal responsibility and stewardship reminds us that God calls us to be wise with our resources and not place ourselves in situations where others have undue control over our lives. Recognizing manipulation for what it is can be challenging, especially when you care about the person involved. If you suspect someone is manipulating you, take a step back and assess the situation objectively. Are they consistently prioritizing their needs over yours? Do they make you feel guilty or unsure of yourself? Are they trying to control aspects of your life or isolate you from others? It's essential to set firm boundaries with manipulators and stand your ground. Communicate clearly and assertively about what you will and will not tolerate. Remember, you have the right to your own thoughts, feelings, and actions. By maintaining inner strength and clarity, we can protect ourselves from the harmful effects of manipulation and stay true to our values. One of the most glaring signs of a manipulative person is controlling behavior. This goes beyond mere preferences or quirks. It's about someone seeking to dominate every aspect of your life, leaving little room for your autonomy and decisions. Controlling individuals often disguise their behavior as concern or care, but underneath, it's about power. Graham, who valued personal freedom and self-discipline, would see this behavior as fundamentally opposed to living a godly life. Control can manifest in many ways. A friend might always insist on choosing where you go and what you do together. At first, it may seem harmless, but over time you may realize that your preferences are consistently ignored. They might say, "I know what's best for us," or "You'll have more fun if you just listen to me." This isn't mutual decision-making. It's one person exerting their will over another. In relationships, controlling behavior can become even more dangerous. A partner might monitor your whereabouts, demand constant updates, or dictate who you can and cannot see. They may go through your phone, check your messages, or insist on knowing your passwords. This kind of surveillance creates an environment of anxiety, making you feel trapped. True love does not seek to control, but to uplift and encourage. Financial control is another way manipulators exert power. A controlling partner or family member may manage all financial decisions, making you financially dependent on them. They might say, "I handle the money because you're not good with finances," or "It's easier if I take care of everything." This strips you of financial independence, making it difficult to leave the relationship. Graham preached about the importance of self-sufficiency and wise stewardship, warning against allowing others to dictate our financial well-being. Another method of control is isolation. A controlling person might try to cut you off from loved ones, claiming to be the only one who truly understands you. They may criticize your relationship, saying your friends don't really care about you or your family is toxic. Over time, you may find yourself increasingly isolated, relying solely on them for support. Graham recognized the importance of community and godly relationships, warning against isolation as a tool of manipulation. Those who seek control also use threats and intimidation to maintain power. They may threaten to leave, harm themselves, or even hurt you if you don't comply. This creates an environment of fear, making it difficult to think clearly or make the best decisions for yourself. True courage and wisdom lie in reclaiming your power and refusing to be controlled. It's crucial to understand that controlling behavior is about more than personal preferences. It's an attack on your autonomy. Graham's teachings would remind us that we must recognize these behaviors for what they are, a violation of personal freedom and dignity. By staying true to our values and maintaining our inner strength, we can resist manipulation and reclaim our right to live freely. If you find yourself dealing with someone who exhibits controlling behavior, it's essential to set firm boundaries and assert your independence. Communicate clearly about your needs and limits, and seek support from those who understand your situation. By staying grounded in faith and valuing our own autonomy, we can protect ourselves from manipulation and live more authentic, fulfilling lives. Another unmistakable sign of a toxic person is pathological lying. This goes beyond the occasional white lie that most people tell. Pathological liars deceive constantly, often without any apparent reason. They fabricate stories, manipulate facts, and distort reality to suit their own needs or gain an advantage over others. This behavior can be incredibly damaging to relationships, eroding trust and creating a web of deceit that's difficult to untangle. Living in alignment with truth means refusing to engage in deception, even when it seems beneficial. When someone lies pathologically, they are not only deceiving others, but also corrupting their own soul, constructing a false reality that serves only themselves. Pathological lying can take many forms. It might start with small, seemingly harmless lies, like embellishing a story to make themselves look better or more interesting. Over time, these lies can escalate, covering up mistakes or wrongdoings and manipulating others to achieve their goals. A pathological liar might claim to have accomplished things they haven't, falsely take credit for others' work, or fabricate stories about their past to gain sympathy or admiration. This constant dishonesty creates a distorted view of reality where you can never be sure what is true and what is fabricated. Consider how a pathological liar might operate in a workplace. They might lie about their qualifications, exaggerate their contributions to projects, or spread false rumors about colleagues to sabotage them. This creates a toxic environment where trust is undermined and people are constantly on edge, unsure of who to believe. In personal relationships, pathological lying can be even more destructive. Imagine being in a relationship with someone who constantly lies about their whereabouts, their past, or their feelings. This behavior can make you feel insecure, anxious, and constantly questioning your own perceptions. You might find yourself doubting your memory or second-guessing your instincts, which is exactly what the liar wants. They thrive on creating confusion and instability, keeping you off balance so they can maintain control. One of the most insidious aspects of pathological lying is that it's often difficult to detect at first. Pathological lies can be incredibly convincing, telling their lies with such confidence and detail that it's hard not to believe them. They might mix truth with lies, making it even more challenging to discern reality. This is why vigilance is essential. We must remain observant and discerning, not taking things at face value, but instead seeking the truth through careful consideration and evidence. When you catch someone in a lie, pay attention to how they react. Do they become defensive or aggressive? Do they try to turn the tables and blame you? Or do they offer a plausible explanation that seems to make sense, even if it's just another layer of deceit? A genuine person will admit to their mistakes and strive to correct them, while a pathological liar will double down on their falsehoods, weaving an even more intricate web of lies. It's also important to consider the long-term impact of pathological lying. Over time, it can erode the very foundation of trust upon which any relationship is built. Once trust is broken, it is incredibly difficult to rebuild. You might find yourself constantly suspicious, always wondering if you're being lied to again. This can lead to a toxic cycle of mistrust and resentment. When dealing with a pathological liar, you must decide whether it's worth trying to rebuild that trust or whether it's healthier to distance yourself from their toxic influence. If you find yourself entangled with a pathological liar, it's crucial to set firm boundaries and protect your own mental and emotional well-being. Be clear about what you will and will not tolerate, and don't be afraid to walk away from a relationship or situation built on lies. Remember, your peace of mind and integrity are more important than maintaining a connection with someone who consistently deceives you. Now, how can you protect yourself from these harmful behaviors while maintaining your peace and integrity? Setting boundaries is one of the most crucial skills you can develop when dealing with difficult or toxic people. Boundaries define what you will and will not accept in your relationships, and they are essential for protecting your mental, emotional, and even physical well-being. First and foremost, it's important to recognize that setting boundaries is not about being harsh or unkind. It's about respecting yourself and ensuring that others respect you as well. By setting clear boundaries, you're not only protecting yourself, but also fostering healthier interactions with others. When it comes to setting boundaries, clarity is key. You need to be specific about what behaviors you will not tolerate and communicate this clearly and assertively. For example, if you have a friend who frequently belittles you or puts you down, you might say, "I appreciate our friendship, but I won't tolerate being spoken to in a disrespectful manner. If this continues, I will have to distance myself." This approach is direct and leaves no room for misinterpretation. According to biblical principles, clear communication helps maintain order and respect in relationships. Another important aspect of setting boundaries is consistency. It's not enough to state your boundaries once and expect others to adhere to them without reminders. You must consistently enforce your boundaries, even when it's uncomfortable or difficult. By consistently upholding your boundaries, you demonstrate self-respect and teach others how to treat you. If someone repeatedly crosses your boundaries, it's a clear sign that they do not respect you or your limits, and it may be necessary to reassess the relationship. It's also important to remember that setting boundaries is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process. As relationships evolve, your boundaries may need to be adjusted. For instance, in a work environment, you might need to set boundaries around your availability and workload to prevent burnout. You could say to a colleague or supervisor, "I am happy to help with this project, but I cannot take on additional tasks beyond my current responsibilities." One of the most challenging aspects of setting boundaries is dealing with the pushback or resistance you might encounter. People who are used to getting their way, especially those with controlling or manipulative tendencies, may not take kindly to your newfound assertiveness. They might react with anger, guilt-tripping, or even attempts to undermine your confidence. When you encounter resistance, remain calm and steadfast, trusting in your own judgment and in the wisdom of biblical truth. Stay firm and remind yourself that your boundaries are necessary for your well-being. In some cases, setting boundaries may require making difficult decisions, such as distancing yourself from certain individuals or even ending relationships that are toxic or harmful. This can be a painful process, but it is essential for preserving your mental and emotional health. He encouraged believers to be discerning in their relationships, recognizing that negative influences can pull us away from our faith and purpose. By stepping away from those who consistently violate your boundaries, you are making a powerful statement about your self-worth and commitment to living a life that honors God. It is also helpful to seek support from others when setting boundaries. This could mean talking to trusted friends, family members, or a pastor about your experiences and seeking their guidance and encouragement. Sharing your struggles and victories in boundary setting can offer valuable perspective and strengthen your resolve. By leaning on a strong faith community, you can find the strength to uphold your boundaries while maintaining your spiritual and emotional well-being. Additionally, practicing self-care is crucial when setting and maintaining boundaries. This includes taking time to rest, engaging in activities that bring you joy and peace, and nurturing both your physical and mental health. By prioritizing self-care, you reinforce the message that your well-being is important and worthy of protection. Remember, setting boundaries is an act of self-respect and self-love. It is about recognizing your God-given worth and refusing to allow others to diminish it. By establishing and maintaining healthy boundaries, you are aligning yourself with biblical principles and fostering a life of peace, integrity, and resilience. Never forget that your peace and spiritual well-being are worth protecting, no matter who tries to undermine them. Setting boundaries is not just about self-preservation, it is a declaration of your worth and commitment to living a Christ-centered life. Thank you for joining me today and being a part of this journey. If you found this message helpful, make sure to check out one of the suggested videos on the screen for more insights. Stay strong, stay faithful, and keep walking in God's truth.